Hello, I am back starting another sketchbook. I almost didn't film this process because, well, I just wanted to draw in it already, and yeah, I was able to distract myself by finishing some drawings digitally. Ended up with a bunch of headaches despite always having my blue lights glasses on, but hey, I must say, being productive boosted my motivation even further. And I can wait to come up with new ideas, like, gosh, I love drawing. Either way, I decided to give my eyes a break and draw a bit traditionally. As you can also see, this is a different desk, and it has paint stains on it. I'm not the criminal behind them, but it is where all the magic actually happens. The neat desk I used in my previous videos is the living room one. And since I wasn't home alone, I didn't really want to use it in front of everyone, especially with the way I set up my iPad to film. So today you get both the OG desk and very ass lighting, but I know most of you use videos like this in the background, so who cares? And to that one person who couldn't fall asleep because I kept using creeper noises to alert the viewer to look at the screen for a second, don't worry. I'll use a different sound this time. Oh, and one more thing. At the end of the video, my head gets in the frame. I'm very sorry for it, but you will have to get jump scared by it from time to time. I'll try not making that mistake again in the future. So, yeah. So, this is a daily Rowney sketchbook, and to be honest, I've heard not the best reviews from people, mainly because it doesn't open all the way, like 180 degrees. But so far, I haven't noticed anything like that. To be fair, I heard it a couple of years ago, so either they changed how they bind their products, or I'm gonna feel it very soon. Either way, I end up destroying my sketchbooks to the point of breaking the binding and forcing them to open all the way. Funnily enough, I didn't have that issue before. It's a more recent thing since I started drawing again and being more rough with my supplies. We will see once I film again. Maybe it'll fall apart on the second day, or maybe it'll handle all the harsh treatment. The paper is a bit thinner than in the previous sketchbook, 160 GSM, but I don't have an issue with that. I actually think the last one was way too thick for the stuff I do. But hey, maybe it'll suit you instead. I actually noticed another thing. It doesn't have that awkward first page like the rest of the sketchbooks do. And I honestly don't understand why this is even a thing. Like, I get it, maybe it messes up with the structure or whatever. But really, if this one managed, why don't the others? And on top of that, they're much more expensive. For me, it gets a thumbs up because it felt really nice going into the second page like any other. Also, the sketchbook held watercolors really well for such thin paper. As of recording of this voiceover, I'm only a couple of pages in, but this sketchbook is probably one of the nicest I've used so far. Or at least in a long time that I remember. The pigment doesn't lift as easily as in the previous one. It has a bit more texture to it, and overall, so far so good. And for the price, £6.95 or approximately €8. That's pretty cheap. Especially spending so much on my previous one and it falling apart on me like it wasn't my most expensive sketchbook. If I actually find any negative traits, I'll let you know, maybe in the sketchbook tour or maybe in another video. But please don't go buy stuff just because I said it was good. Just some research first, because, well, my standards are low. I don't need that much from a sketchbook. I do have a lot of experiences with a lot of different and odd brands, but I don't think I ever had two sketchbooks from the same brand, except those thin ones that came together in the package, so I didn't have a choice really. And the tradition keeps going. My next one is a Faber sketchbook, and I have no idea how it feels, but I guess that's the fun of it. I actually don't really decorate the cover very heavily at the beginning. I slap a couple of stickers on it and then let future Miroslav do whatever they want with it. That spiral and stars on the last sketchbook, that was completely out of boredom. including some other stickers that appeared later on. Plus, I don't really have many cool stickers like other artists do. The only artist stickers I actually have are from Faber, which I'm using, as always, my girlfriend's test stickers, and my old classmates' stickers that feel way too precious, because I have no idea when I'll meet her again, since she's all the way in Portugal. I will say though, if I suddenly become rich, there will be signs, as in owning a bunch of stickers from different artists, but for now all we can do is dream. Anyway, this time I'm starting it by drawing my Witch Hat Atelier OC, because the obsession is still very present and I doubt it'll die anytime soon. That manga stole my heart from the very first time I read it, and now that I revisited it while being more comfortable with my art, well, if you visit any of my socials, you can see the impact it had on me. By the way, you should totally follow me on Telegram, especially Slavic folk watching this. I post a lot of my sketchbook pages there. We actually bought a new scanner recently, so it'll be even easier to show you whatever I'm working on in my sketchbook. I do post stuff in Ukrainian, but there's a lovely translate button for people who can't understand, and you're always welcome to use English or any other language you know in the comments. As I was saying, I'm drawing Dragomir, my OC, and I usually go for a more finished sketch on the first page, with colors and all, just to test out the paper and how it holds up what mediums, especially watercolors, since I like using it from time to time in my pages. I think I mentioned it in my last video where I started the sketchbook. I don't fear the first page anymore. I honestly rarely open it when I get a bit further into it, so it has become somewhat insignificant. It kind of ended when I realized this isn't my portfolio. No one except my friends or anyone I consent to showing will see it. And maybe a couple of thousands of people on YouTube, but that's different. I mostly put effort into it, not for show, but for test, and seeing how it holds up when using it the way I'm more comfortable with. And then adjust according to the results. Of course, you should only buy materials that are comfortable for you. Don't go out of your way to get a cheap sketchbook knowing you'll hate the paper just because the prices are hype. The supplies should listen to you, not the opposite. I've become way less picky with paper, but even so, I still don't think I'd enjoy drawing on something that leaves me uncomfortable in the process. That's just asking for future avoidance and procrastination. However, I do like decorating, and I think that's what gives it a more finished look to the spread. I treat it similarly to the cover. I add things later when I find the little scraps that I think would go perfectly there, or now that I think about it, I treat most of my pages like that. I never really look at a spread and think it's 100% completed unless there's no space left or I'm completely satisfied and ready to move on. Sometimes I don't even get to that point, and that's okay too. Learning to just let it be as it is has been weirdly freeing. Anyway, funnily enough, this time everything ended up being in blues again. But I must say I'm much happier with the result in this sketchbook than the last one. I think back then I was still a bit stiff with the way I drew, and the camera setup was in the way, so I was also seeing everything from an angle, leading Vyacheslav looking a bit odd. I don't hate it, of course. I don't think I actually felt any hatred towards my art, even when the sketches looked like it was just put through a blender, because I know what I can do with my skills when I actually put time and effort. This time though, since I was in the preferred environment, I could relax and actually draw the way I felt comfortable, leading to a much better result. I actually wasn't planning on adding line art, but I liked the drawing so much, plus I wanted to try drawing with ink pens more often, that I went all in. I think from all the videos you can tell what my favorite themes are, it being either star related, with a lot of blues and golds, or foresty with a bunch of greens, especially berries and leaves. It's like a guilty pleasure for me to draw them. Many of you would think those are my favorite colors, but no, you're wrong. it's actually brown. But somehow, all of my recent pieces have been very bluish, except one, where I guess brown is the background color. I need to fix that and give appreciation to my favorite color combo of brown, green and red. But yeah, moving on, I should probably talk about my SE a bit, so I don't have to speed up this footage to a crazy amount like last time, because I didn't know what to say. Plus, I know people on this side of YouTube prefer longer videos, so... This is Dragomir. I've created them around the time I started rereading the Witch Hat Atelier manga back in Ukraine. At first, they were just another tired person that smoked and painted, but I already have a similar SE, so now they're not tired. They just smoke and paint. My whole idea is that Drago would specialize in stars and all of the spacey stuff that I probably need to research to develop them better, and they also paint the maps as like commissions and such. You know those star maps that millennials love and put in their living rooms? That's exactly what they do, and usually in very big scales, like canvases. Like, they also love embracing this whole theme through their clothes, so it's all full of stars and colors, usually associated with it. I'm still not very sure about the bells. I thought it'd be funny if Dragomir just walked around and you could hear it from the other side of the street, but at the same time, I don't think they'd like that much attention on them. It looks good on the outfit though, so I'll probably just leave it and let them suffer. I'm not gonna share why I created them, but they do have a purpose for me, and I wanted to maybe create some lore, but the person I was supposed to do it with is just procrastinating on creating their own OC. So it is what it is. So far, that's all. Maybe I'll develop other things with them. And maybe I'll even draw an illustration featuring them. No one knows. Also, I was in the middle of writing the script and I was just casually browsing French Vinted. You will never guess for what. Yes, it was for limited French editions of Witch Hat Atelier. And no, I don't know French. But I stumbled across some versions that included these designs of Coco and Agate, and gosh, Shirahama draws everything so beautifully, but yeah, I'm starting to see where my subconscious took the inspiration from. And no, I'm not scratching Dragomir's design. If you have a character that has a similar theme to another more popular character, it's okay. Like, what are they gonna say to you? That, for example, the stars, moon, and sun idea was invented by one person and only they can use it? Of course, you should create your own spin to the topic, don't just copy. That's a completely different story. But other than that, you're okay. Fuck anyone that tells you otherwise. But yeah, my vintage searches inspired me to come up with new ideas for illustrations, including those designs. I think all of the crew was one. I'll include an illustration of it if I find it. I genuinely could make an entire video about how much I love this manga and how much Shirahama's art influenced me. I've been obsessed with other media in the past, but never to this extent. This story single-handedly made me buy all of the physical copies and more. I actually started collecting exclusive and limited things related to it, which I never did in the past. Sure, I love collecting things to glue in my pages, and maybe my sketchbooks could be considered a collection too, since I have a lot of different ones, or maybe even my art supplies, or perhaps my 3 Miku figures. But none of them came from one creator, and none of them are as intense as this. Witch Hat Atelier has me on a chokehold in the nicest way possible. I got a mini art book and secured myself another one from the 11th volume limited French edition, and even the puzzle from the 12th, which I thought I'd never get because it was sold out, and only recently I've thought about actually going to Vinted. I genuinely never thought I'd be so head over heels about a piece of media, and I pray to whatever god is out there that when the anime comes out, it'll have the Dungeon Meshi type of fandom, because I will not handle people giving Kifri the same treatment they're giving Gojo. When I like something, I will yap about it endlessly. But if you're gonna get involved in my interest, you better like it the same way I do, or I'ma start gatekeeping and never talk about it to you ever again. I'm even more worried about the fact that this manga has a bunch of children that rely on their mentors, and if the wrong people start crawling out of their disgusting corners of the internet, I will track them down and bite off every single limb of theirs, so they don't have the ability to draw or write any of the disgusting things they have in mind. Sorry about the rant. I think you can tell how awfully deep I am in this fandom. I'll still draw my Cs, don't worry. I don't think I'd ever become a full-time fan artist. I'll probably need a break from drawing them the same way I'm taking a break from drawing my characters. Ryan and Vyacheslav are still very loved and will come back soon. But right now, I'll let myself indulge in whatever I feel like, because that's what makes art fun for me. Especially now that I can draw all of these characters the way I envision them, and it actually makes me want to study different things, so I'm able to draw them even better each time. After I'm done with the merge in this video, I'll probably concentrate on studying folds from both Shirahama and Mocha, because, oh god, I've been avoiding it for most of my life. However, all of the characters have such baggy clothes, therefore they will create a lot of folds, and even for my OCs, all of them wear loose shirts that I probably did not draw properly in the past. I don't care that much if it's just a sketchbook total, but I'd like to apply the knowledge in my finished illustrations. Yeah, I think it's time I stop talking about Witch Hat Atelier and finally move on. Even though I'm not sorry about that, because if you really enjoy my content, you'd go through whatever I have to say, even if it includes just me constantly talking about this one thing that I like. And if you don't feel like it, well, I doubt people like that even made it this far into the video. I don't know what to talk about anymore. I'm squeezing so much out of my 2 brain cells, and honestly, they're getting overworked. I'm pretty motivated to record more videos, so expect some more in the future. Next one will probably be a media artist, and I'll show you a bit of my digital process too. Not all of it though, because it takes hours, and well, I don't have the patience nor storage to record all of that. Even this video is originally 3 hours, and I'll probably have to condense it down to 20 minutes, which will look wonderful. I must say though, I will be moving soon, so maybe it'll take a while to put up the next upload together, especially with the fact that I'm looking for a job. But hey, if you want more of whatever I have to offer and would like me to focus only on sharing my thoughts and drawings with you, you should subscribe and do all of the YouTube things so I can pay my rent. Oh yeah. I should probably mention that I'm also dropping my Witch Hat Atelier merch soon, and that's another way to support me. So far, I'm planning to make some prints, stickers, and acrylic chains. Oh, and some pins. So if you're interested in any of that, you should follow me on my Insta, or even better, as I said, Telegram. I post much more stuff in there, especially behind the scenes. And you can look at all the illustrations on Instagram with better quality on Telegram. I'm still not sure if I should use Etsy or Ko-fi. I think on the first one, it's easier for people to find others through the search engine, but they also take a bigger cut from what I understood. I have no idea though. If you're into any of that stuff and have a better knowledge about which one is better, please let me know in the comments. I'd really appreciate that. I really don't know what to do. Or if I can even do both, maybe. I'm not sure. Just whatever. Anyway, I think that's all. Let's hope this isn't gonna be like last time and only be like 15 minutes of me talking, and let's hope my voice will handle all of it. I'm pretty sure it'll take a while until I tour this sketchbook. It has like 60 sheets, I think. I'm not sure, I have to check it again. So you can sit down for the wait. It'll probably be like 5 months, 4. I'll try my best to be quick, okay? I can't promise anything. I'll make some draw with me videos or other stuff in between. But yeah, Either way, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye!